Good morning, beautiful people. Good morning to those of us who are listening. I hope you all are well. Today we'll be looking at something else that concerns the Igbo race. Most of the time, when I look at Igbo people, I find that nowadays a good number of us Igbo people are less concerned about the whereabouts of our people, in other communities. I must tell you that whatever is affecting one community, no matter how small it is in Igbo land, is affecting all of us. We must learn that. We must learn that whatever is happening to the least community is actually happening to us indirectly, because if it gets to them, eventually it will get to you also. You should learn to look out for each other more. I'm telling you that it's true that the people of the southeast especially, the government is usually harsh to us, but I must tell you that even those of the Igbo people outside the southeast, they don't get it easy. We really need to look out more for ourselves, because Igbo people say Igwe Bike. It is that numbers that we have that is our strength. If we don't look out for each other, they will just pick us apart one by one community by the other. They will just ruin us immediately. So today, as I usually do, I'll be talking about another community. This time we will go back to Bonny, so that those of us who have forgotten how things are going over there, we have a refresher. You see, Bonny people, Ubani is their name, Okoloma, as you may call it. You see, these are people who, since River State was created, and since after the war especially, we've spoken quite some time about them, but I want to bring up something else that you don't know, so that you see how far the damage is. These are people who find themselves under the control, or they used to find themselves under the control of a few Igbo people that are in the minority. But nowadays, the Ubani people are asserting themselves more. But the structure, the government structure in that place is such that you must identify with Igbo one way or the other for you to survive. That is what we are trying to say. They are Igbo people, quite alright. They speak Igbo, they believe in the Igbo life and all that. But you must identify with Igbo one way or the other for you to survive as an Ubani person. And it is that point that we are highlighting on, because that is a damage to our people. You shouldn't identify with a foreign language or with a foreign tribe for you to survive in your own clan. Now, look at this screenshot I'll be showing to you. Because I do my things evidence-based. You will not just follow what I'm saying. I'll be showing you what is happening so you can confirm. Look at some of these screenshots here. You have a grown man by the name David Dapa, or Diakpa, as you want to pronounce it. You have a grown man whose son name is Dapa, and is asking what is the meaning of Dapa. A family man asking what is the meaning of Dapa that he is bearing. That means maybe he collected the name from his father, and he doesn't even know the meaning. And most probably his father did not know the meaning of the name, but it's a name he picked up after the Civil War to survive, and he doesn't know it. A grown man. If it is a young person, a teenager asking this question, you can say, okay, this person is trying to understand himself more. But this is a grown man in his 40s asking what is the meaning of Dapa, his family name that he is bearing on his documents. He doesn't know the meaning. Will you see an Igbo person today, maybe he's bearing something like Onye Kachukwu, and he will come on the internet and ask, please, what is the meaning of Onye Kachukwu? I don't know the meaning. It is an absurdity that is only possible in a very abnormal circumstance. Okay, that is just one screenshot. There are many here. I just picked up a few that I will use to elucidate. Okay, look at this one now. He's saying, please, what is the meaning of Aridonye? All these weird names that they have to answer, because they have to survive. Why they pick up these Igbo names is because when you go, you need your documents from the local government or from whatever, your birth certificate. Once you go to apply for it, you must provide an Igbo name that will be on the document, or else they won't give it to you. Okay, look at this one now. Asking what's the meaning of Aridonye. This one is asking the meaning of Sotonye. This one is asking, what is the meaning of God's gift in Ubani? I know that is what she wants to use, and probably, sorry, it's a he. That is what he wants to use, and probably, give his child, for his document. You can see he has the child on the profile picture there. He wants to give the child God's gift in Ubani, but he doesn't know how to interpret it, and so he has to ask on the internet. If they were Igbo people, they would not be asking what is the meaning of these things, because they would know these are Igbo people. But to survive, they need to pick up these names, and you bear names that you don't like, because trust me, the Ubani people don't like these names. They don't bear in their house, in their personal space, their houses, their rooms. They don't bear these names. They call themselves their Igbo names. It is like that in Bonny. It's like that in Opobo. They call their names, they call themselves by their Igbo names, because these other names are just a foreign name that they don't like. And there's a lot of polarity in the kingdom today because of these kind of things. Igbo people, when we bear something, we bear it, but at a point we can't bear it anymore. There's a lot of polarity there in Bonny today between the Igbo people and the Bonny speakers. But the Igbo people are joking because they are so small in number. They are so small. What will they do? They can't do anything to the Ubani people. But these things just continue. It keeps happening. Just imagine yourself in the southeast. They came to meet you and tell you you must bear a Yoruba name, or you must bear an Idoma name for you to survive. What's the meaning of that? Look at this one now. This is another person. He's asking, please, what's the meaning of Iyengi? What's the meaning of Tamuno Isiala, or whatever she wrote here? This one is saying, what's the meaning of Kariso? What's the meaning of OBSC Ahak, or what Kiane Deba? These are names that very, very strange names. They have to ask the meaning, because they are bearing the names, but they don't know the meaning. And it's been like this since 1967. Oh, sorry, since 1970s, since after the war. It's been like this. I don't know when these things will change. This is abnormal. So what it means is that on your document, you can bear something like Kariso Sotonye. And then inside your house, you bear Chidema. Inside your house, you bear Chidema. And on your document, you bear Kariso Sotonye. So you have a dual identity. One person. This is supposed to be illegal, self. It's supposed to be illegal, but you know that the Nigerian structure, it condones illegality. They just allow these things to happen. People should be free to bear whatever names they want to bear. This one is asking, please, what's the meaning of Tamuno Imiebam? Some of this is, I even know the meaning. The meanings are not hard, but you can see that Ubani people don't even attempt to learn it. That is another point. The Ubani people are not even interested in learning it. If they were interested in learning, they would have picked up the language. They are not interested in learning it. In fact, they hate the language. They hate the language. This one is asking what the meaning of Sotonye again. What's the meaning of Soprinye? What's the meaning of Tuotamuno? These are names they have on their documents, but they have to ask what is the meaning, because they don't know. And these things continue. Igbo people having to do strange things just to survive in their own country. Just to survive in their own local government. Just to survive in their own village. And there's also something that happens in Bonny. In Bonny, almost all the place, almost all the communities, all the clans, all the streets have double names too. The same way you have on the documents is the same way you have, the village names. If you ask one person, he will tell you the Igbo name. If you ask the next person, he will tell you the Igbo name of the community. That is to tell you that originally all these communities had Igbo names, but after the war, they were just adding Igbo names, Igbo everywhere. Names that people don't like. If you check all the community names in Bonny, you will just be hearing Igbo names, Igbo names, Igbo names, Igbo names, Igbo names. But if you check official correspondence, you will see the Igbo equivalent on every document. These are people we should look out for. Because when you are persecuted that much, there's a tendency that you will even start to hate the Igbo people. The Igbo that you came out from, you will start to hate it, because you will be thinking, this Igbo identity has brought me a lot of pain. That is why they persecute these people. They want to force them to cut themselves from that Igbo identity. And they succeeded in some of them, because some of them are brainwashed. Some of them, when you tell them they are speaking Igbo, they bear Igbo name. When you talk to them about the Igbo nation or the Igbo race, they will say, oh no, don't tell me that. I'm an Igbo man. You can imagine. Because they've been persecuted to the point that they are shying away from their own reality, from their own identity. But within themselves, they know that, look, I can't deceive myself. I'm an Igbo man from the beginning to the end. These are things that are going on in our midst. We have to take more note of. These are communities who are farthest from the center. They are the borders. You need to look out for them. As I said before, we in the Southeast, is true. The government is always harsh on the Southeast. But believe me, as we are still within that personal space of the Southeast, we even have a bit more freedom than the other people who are outside the Southeast. Because the people who are outside the Southeast, the Igbo people who are outside the South, have to contend with other ethnic groups. We in the Southeast don't have to contend for that. We do mostly what we want to do and when we want to do it and how we want to do it. We are proudly Igbo in the Southeast without any persecution. You can't come and persecute us inside the Southeast. It's not possible. We will bear the names we want to bear as we like it. But then the people who are caught into other places, you have to bear a name, one strange name, from a language you don't like, just to survive. It's not right. It's not right. But let us just leave it at this level of diplomacy, We just talk, enlighten each other. You tell your brother, and that one tells the next person so that everybody will be aware of what is happening. So we'll leave it at that for today. Thank you.